What's up, everybody? I'm back, man. You know where I just came from. I just got done doing my motherfucking 7 mile run. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, people. Look, people, I'm gonna give you a tip here. Anything in life, man, as long as you stay consistent with it, you're gonna get better at it, people. So, just don't fucking give up. Just think of it as a fucking marathon and not a race. Because when you try to race, you make mistakes, people. That's just a word of advice and from experience in my fitness journey. That's what got me on point. You know what I mean? I figured it out and I stopped trying to rush the fucking progress. You can't rush the progress, people. It just ain't gonna happen. Well, anyways, people, I wanted to touch on a quick little subject here because some people were asking about the county jail being dangerous. That fucking place was the most dangerous place I think I've ever done time in. You know what I mean? And the reason I say that, and I'm gonna explain to you, because there's different levels to this. Okay, the endangerment of living and surviving in there. Okay, you got to keep in mind back in my day. Fuck, man, the fucking Huras in there, they had their own fucking gangs in there, so it was real dangerous amongst us. So not only were we going at it with other races and shit, and I mean when the shit went off, it fucking went off. I mean, there was no like fucking notice or anything. So that's another thing what made it dangerous too. I'll touch on it. I'll do it in different stories because there's so much to say about the levels of that being dangerous in there, and the reason behind it, why it was being, why it's so dangerous, because you got to look at it this way. The turnover rate in there, it's almost like a fucking turnover rate at fucking Walmart. You shop at Walmart 1 week and the next week you see your fucking all new employees there. You know what I mean? Not all of them, but you know what I'm talking about, man. They go through people. So it's the same thing like when you're going through the system right there. So many people, they're there for so long, and different people are in charge. So new people come into play, and now it's ran differently. So you don't really have a fucking program that's set in stone. Unlike when you go to a joint, most older joints are going to be some really good joints to do time at, because everything's like set in stone already. You know what I mean? You can't plant a seed in stone. It's something that's been set there for a cool minute, and it's a better running program. But yeah, back to the county jail. See, that's one of the reasons, man, that fucking place could be so dangerous, because the people at the mesa is constantly changing. And I'm gonna pull a lot of motherfucking people's covers right here, and I'm just keeping it fucking real, 100%. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. You could come in off the calles, man, and I seen this all the time too. It's kind of a fucked up thing. You know what I mean? But I've always been told, been told by a wise man, sometimes it's best not to speak on certain things, and just let the trash clean itself up. You know what I mean? Because trash will eventually clean itself up. You know what I mean? You just got once it gets out of control, just let it'll clean itself up, so to say. You know what I mean? And it really does. Because here's the example I'm going to give you, okay? You could get an individual that pulls up to a place, and this individual happens to be, well-known dolphin in the calles, okay? Well, this individual shows up with the sack, man. All of a sudden, this fool is the man. You feel me? And these other fools that are, not everybody, keep in mind, not everybody. The ones with that right mind that knows that this shit follows them to wherever they're going to land and finish their motherfucking journey at, it will follow you. And like I've said in the past, when you think no one's watching, there's always someone watching. And when you think no one's listening, there is always someone listening, people. So you must be always on your P's and Q's and on your best behavior. Represent and be professional. But anyways, not everybody follows the rules. So this is why I say it could be dangerous, man. So, anyways, you get an individual that's fresh in off the streets, nobody, fucking dirtbag in the street, homie. At his worst, but he comes in with the sack, right? All of a sudden, this fool has say so and what the fuck's going on right there, and the reason is because these fools are on this boy's sack, straight up on old boy's sack. Why? Because he's got the sack. So I've seen it many times, and as far as me, I'm a dope fiend. I no longer get high anymore. I've been sober for a lot of years, and I can tell you one thing: when I do hit the system, I don't fuck with nothing at all. I probably smoked maybe a couple leños back in the day when I was up north with the homies. You know what I mean? I might have had a little bit of pruno, maybe once or twice throughout the whole time that I did, time. In the county, nah. Yeah, I'm straight as a fucking arrow. You got to be on your P's and Q's and be aware of your surroundings at all times, because there's gonna be fucking wolves and sharks all around you. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that's one of the reasons what makes that fucking county so dangerous too. And like I said, during my time, man, the fucking Huras, they had their own fucking gang in there. For those of you that done time with me back in the early '90s, you remember them motherfucking Nazi ass motherfuckers, big on Sweezy, man, steroided out and shit. They would fuck you up. Man, they'd take you in a tank and they would fuck you up, man. A lot of these gavas, I don't even know if they were all gavas, you know what I mean? But they had tattoos of like a fist on them, power, whatever it fucking represented in their fucking supposed gang, their inside gang of sheriffs. But anyways, yeah, man, it could be real dangerous with them motherfuckers, because you fuck up and you get caught, you know what I mean? And they would fuck you up. Flashlight therapy. They had batons back then, you know what I mean? They'd take you in a room and, beat the dog shit out of you, homie. So not only was it dangerous with them, you know what I mean? We had to live amongst other races, and like I said, there was constant changing at the mesa, at least with our people, so people want to come in and start infiltrating shit differently, and it had a lot to do with that with dope, a lot of people, and it just fucked it up. I'm not gonna say everyone, homie, you know what I mean, gente. I'm not gonna say everybody, but anybody that's been through the system, they've seen it, and the real solid ones, the one that really pushed that narrative, I should say. They weren't doing that. They weren't. You weren't getting walked in just because you had a sack. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. You're gonna, do what you need to do and kick the pad down and do your thing. But certain individuals decided to take it amongst themselves to, bring certain individuals to the mesa, and that's when shit just got out of control. You know what I mean? And shit could be really fucking dangerous. Like I said, in a fucking heartbeat. I mean, shit could jump off. I remember going to the chow hall because back in the day, we were housed amongst other races, So when shit jumped off, I'm gonna give you an example right here. The time when I was in there, it was always jumping off. Okay, there was one particular time. I think what saved me, it's because I actually knew that something was going to happen. So I was selling, and I think it was a 8-man cell, and it was just me and one homie, and there's 6 other persons in there from another race. I'm not gonna say what race. If you know, during that time, and when you're locked in there, it could have been very, very dangerous for us. So I think what saved me and the homie is because I caught wind of what was going on. So at least we got outside of our cell. We kicked our rack, our door when they were gonna lock it, and when you kick them, it kicks it off of the roller, so it gives us access to go in and out of our cells. That was one of the tricks. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're still able to do that, but back in my time, you were, and that's what we did. You know what I mean? So when the shit jumped, man, I mean, and it fucking jumped, and you're talking about being in a cell actually it's like a hall when you come out of your cell. For those of you that have been through the county jail, you got like about 5 feet in front of you, and it's a long fucking corridor. So you go fucking all out, and if you're in front of the line, you're getting it. You know what I mean? So if you're housed way in the back, depending the way the geographic was set up in there, you know what I mean? Because you could have had a bunch of race over here in this section and then be pushing this way, but it's just like this, man, like a fucking wave, and it goes and goes and goes. And then when the Hudas used to come in there, they didn't come in there fucking spraying, they came in there beating us, and they didn't discriminate, you know what I mean? They came in and fucking, they'd straight up tell you, motherfuckers, you keep doing your shit, heads are gonna fucking roll. I remember this one big ass fucking white boy, this fool was big, wore gafas and shit. You could tell this fucking fool was roided out. He was pissed off at any time a given day. You look at him wrong and that fool would snatch you up and smash you up against the wall. And you rub up against that fucking John Wayne mural that they have in there. For those of you that know, no. Back in the day, you stood away from that motherfucker. That thing would get you the motherfucking blues. I ain't talking about by the homies or other races, by the motherfucking Huras. They pushed their own thing in there. So that actually made it really fucking dangerous as well. You got to keep in mind, we're in there with a bunch of fucking gangbangers, a bunch of weirdos, people that we don't know their jackets on. So we're at our own war with other people, from the start, let alone these motherfucking Huras that got the okay to do whatever the fuck they want to us. Why? Because they got a fucking badge, you know what I mean? So that's why I say there was different levels to this shit of being dangerous, people. And it wasn't a fucking place to be. I'm telling you one thing, there used to be an old saying, man, if you could do time in the county jail, LA County, you could do time anywhere. And I'm a fucking firm believer of that. If you could do time back in them 90s, going through that LA County jail and survive out that motherfucker, you could survive anywhere, in any jail. And yeah, you guys might bring up, oh yeah, there's prisons over here on these other fucking states and all that. I ain't referring to them, you know what I mean? That's all hearsay. How do you know? Have you done time there? You know what I mean? Stay away from the National Geographic Channel. They only put out what they want you to see, people. You know what I mean? I don't watch that shit, but I'm sure that's what they do, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I lived that motherfucking life. I went through it, and it made me for who I am today, and it taught me a lot about individuals and how to read individuals. There's so many fucking fakes and frauds out there wearing wolves in sheep's clothing, you know what I mean? It's just it's crazy. And for the average cat, the average resident out here, they don't have that education that you can't get. Like I'm gonna give an example, like what one of the podcasters say, an education that you can't get in college, you know what I mean? It's something that you actually had to have lived to gain this knowledge. And I've lived it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It was an experience in my life, and I'm just, like I said, people, I'm giving you a short glimpse of my upbringing to where I'm at today as being a worldwide online fitness coach. And if you were paying attention to what I was doing yesterday, I was a special guest at the Be Real concert, the Hollywood Nights over there. A lot of Amanda Perez was there, Roddy Rax, a lot of heavy hitters. There was this little youngster, man, that little boy, fucking bad as fuck, man. 11 years old up there rapping, man, on stage and shit. CC from 1580 K-Day was there. A lot of people, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say any more names. But yeah, if you were watching, you seen, you know what I mean? I busted some flicks with some people. But yeah, so that's just a real quick glimpse of what made LA County Jail so fucking dangerous. This is just going to be the first part of it. I'll bring back to other, how would you say? I'll touch on this again tomorrow or sometime during the week, you know what I mean? Give you breakdowns on, other reasons what made it so fucking dangerous as well, So with that being said, people, I'm going to get back to you and let you know, again, man, if you're fucking still struggling, on trying to get started with your fitness journey, shoot me a DM. I'll get you going. I'm not gonna fucking charge you. I'm not gonna do a pull a fucking Wes Watson on you. Fuck that fucking lame. You know what I mean? But anyways, some of you guys might get mad. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I tip my hat to that man. That motherfucker working people and made a lot of money. I'm mad at him for that. But he has a lot of believers in him. It is what it is. Everybody's gonna have their own audience. But for me, I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm not going to fucking tell you shit that wasn't real. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a certain podcasts, they do reactions on them. They're funny. You know what I mean? He calls it like I call it. You know what I mean? I call it how I see it. Motherfucker's a fake and a fraud. You know what I mean? Doing that time in a private prison with Xbox and all that shit. Shit, I wish I had that. I didn't. When I got off the Grey Goose, They handed me a trash can lid and a sword and said it was time to go to war, baby. That was my get down. It wasn't say here's an Xbox, here's walking horse, order you this, and that. It was nothing like that. But anyways, that's another story to come, people. I actually heard an individual that was on another person's podcast. He said they were on the Greyhound. What the fuck's the Greyhound? I never heard of them. Unless they changed the name. As far as I remember, that's the motherfucking Grey Goose. But yeah. Well, anyways, people, if you guys are still struggling, man, shoot me a DM. I'll get you started on becoming that best version of yourself. I'll teach you how to break them fucking limited beliefs, man. Trust and believe. I wasn't expected to leave out of my neighborhood, let alone own my own motherfucking house, and I did it. And I have the blueprint for that. I know how to do it, man. It's a fucking struggle, but I could help you with that struggle. I know how to bob and weave in mist and puddles, people. So with that being said, you already know, get up and get yours. Let's fucking do this shit, people.